Good evening. We bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
We give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Dip Dipianco. In tonight's game plan, we'll break down the best shooters to look out for in the upcoming UAAP.
Also, here are some courtside stories in the Spikers turf as we head into the finals of the men's volleyball. And we'll meet members of the Team Yamaha Racing Philippines as they get set to take on the international stage. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. The UAAP is home to some of the best young shooters in the country. Now, to get to know more about the guys with the green light from deep, and of course, actually for the wing, we're going to talk a lot about the wing guys. UAAP analyst Willie Wilson is here. Welcome to the game, Coach Willie. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, so just to clarify, we initially asked for top snipers, but then we also started focusing on the wings, and Coach, that's what we're going to be talking about a bit more here, and that's what your list is about. But that's not to say that they can snipe from outside as
definitely, definitely. These are do-it-all guys, and they're going to be exciting to watch this coming UAAP season.
All right, to start off with the first one on the list for the upcoming UAAP Season 85. With a green light to shoot, I definitely agree with this one from the NU Bulldogs, John Lloyd Clemente.
Oh, man, MVP in the fill oil. Can score from anywhere on the floor, 3 points, mid-range, get to the basket. But not only is he a good scorer, is he rebounds, he plays defense, and just whatever you need from him, he can provide.
Well, JLC, just first of all, great name, John Lloyd. And you look at the fact that he can do it all, as we mentioned, and how important do you think he will be for this NU team? We all know that he's going to be, one of the guys, but does the team roll with him, or if he tapers off a bit, do they still have weapons around them to make sure the NU still gets a result?
Well, NU's calling card is still on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the saying, defense wins championships. They're going to roll with that. So without, focusing on the players that will be around him, if they, follow the system, their defensive system, they can survive an off night from JLC and still get that W.
Well, speaking of someone who's going to have to do well because of the absence of a teammate, is Nika Bañero, because of course no Sherwin Concepcion.
Right.
That means this guy will have the green light by default, one, and two, he will be looked to his teammates to actually produce a lot here.
Well, not only the loss of Sherwin Concepcion, but also Josh Fontanilla.
Yes.
He's also gone. And Josh Fontanilla being such a high usage player with the ball in his hands, that responsibility now falls to Nick Cabanero. We all know that he's a bull on the court.
Yes.
So when he gets that ball, kind of reminds me of a Calvin Abueva. He gets the defensive rebound, coast to coast, Euro stepping, barreling through defenders, and he is athletic. Good finisher around the rim. So I expect a high-octane offense from that USC team, and the ball in Nick Cabanero's hands a lot.
Right. Nick Cabanero has only played one season in the UAAP. Do you think, Coach Willie, that he has gained enough experience over the off-season to be the top guy for UST in his second season?
Oh, definitely. You saw the numbers that he put up last season. That's only going to go up higher in this coming season. There wasn't a long layoff from last season to this coming season. So it's just basically a carryover. They even had that mini tournament in between. Just carry over what you were doing from last season to this season. Sky's the limit.
So you also mentioned another guy here who only played one game in his rookie season, and honestly, Cholo Anonuevo. Just tell you who he is, right? So Cholo Anonuevo, you think that he would have been the next big thing before he got hurt, and now with FEU having to recover from an RJ Abriento-sized hole, this guy is gonna have to do something special.
Well, we talked about LJ Gonzalez.
Yeah.
He's gonna have the ball in his hands, right? Who is gonna be that second star there, that second guy putting up the numbers, carrying the slack? There is Cyrus Torres, who is a sniper, and we talked about, my list of snipers. But Cholo Anonuevo, when he came into the UAAP, he was talked about being the guy. He did all his training in the States with Kai Soto. He got hurt at that first game, so we weren't able to see him. He came back for one game in the fill oil, I think. 1 or 2 games in the fill oil. But the skill is there.
Yeah.
He's a system player, can do everything offensively, and he's what, 6'4", 6'5"? So again, he's still one of those guys that I am really looking out for.
Do you think Cholo Año Nuevo would take it as if a slow grind or day by day, because he's only played the game in the UAAP? Will it take some time for him to get used to it once again here in season 85?
Well, I think having Coach Olsen as his coach, he played the game. You know, he's an all-time great in the pro league and as well as the college league. I think that's gonna help him so much in reacclimating himself to the game, and I'm pretty sure their practices are grinded out practices as well. So I'm expecting for this coming UAAP season, he's gonna hit the ground running.
So the next guy that you have here definitely falls under the category of sniper, and not just a great wing, and that guy is David Defonso. And when you have David Defonso, again, if you look at his averages, he did average in double-digit numbers for, and as well as good rebounding, good assist numbers. Really do it all. A bit inconsistent though, and I think that was your biggest gripe.
Well, again, this is something that he did last season that he hasn't done prior to that.
Yeah.
You saw him at NU. He was primarily a scorer. Give him the ball, he's going to get buckets. You put him now in a different system, in Coach Tab Baldwin's system, which I call the system, and they're asking him to play make. You know, the assist numbers will go up, but the turnover numbers will go up. Now you're asking him to make decisions on getting his teammates involved. That's going to affect his scoring as well. So you saw those peaks and valleys from him last season. I expect more time in Coach Tab's system. Those numbers are going to get better.
Yeah, and you know what? The reason why Dip's wearing maroon here is because he wants to talk about this last guy a lot.
Okay.
It's just a coincidence.
Oh,
I
sure.
mean,
What?
I didn't review the list prior
Okay,
and then decide
alright,
to wear maroon,
alright.
right? But I'm happy that there's finally a UP guy on the list. Fifth, though, it's like Coach Willie just decided, let's put a UP guy here. None other than Xavier Lucero, or the Xavier that the Fighting Maroons would like to call. What about him that we're expecting in season 85?
All right, so the viewers are probably going to look at this and say that, wait a minute, he's a big man. He's a power forward. What they don't know is there was a new addition to the UP team in one and done Henry Galinado, who is a big man as well, and not just in height, but in heft as well. So with this surplus of big men that the UP Fighting Maroons have, who sits? Or do they adjust?
Do they slide down?
They lose Richie Rivero. Reports are that CJ Cancino is not playing this season. There's a void at that 3 spot. Xavier Lucero, being very athletic, being able to handle the ball, I see them moving him down to the 3 spot and then playing big, rotating Malik Diouf, Henry Galinado, and obviously Carl Tamayo can also play the wing, as we saw him in international competition playing the wing spot a lot. So I see that UP going extra big lineup this coming season with Xavier Lucero at the 3 spot.
I like how we avoided all reference to any Lasalians in this particular segment. But again,
we can talk about him.
no, I know we
It's
could.
okay, you guys
but then,
had Shani already.
yeah,
There's
we'll
a
get
lot
to
of
that.
names on that LaSalle team.
I have a feeling we're going to talk about them a lot more later on during the season. Anyway, Coach Willie, thank you very much. And again, remember, that was actually Coach Willie's list of his favorite wing players to watch out for. Of course, some of them can shoot. We did mention snipers a while ago, but really, the best wings, Coach Willie Wilson. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so after the break, we'll find out about Signal's success story in the Spiker Surf Open Conference and how they bounced back from a minor setback. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to the game. We're down to the final stretch of the men's volleyball action in the Spikers Turf Open Conference. Let's relive some of the memorable moments in the semis with Spikers Turf insider Alexis Tinsay in this segment called Courtside Stories. Right, okay, kasama natin ngayon si Alexis Tinsay. Pao, and these are some of the names that we'll be talking about. Some players that nakilala natin in the Spikers Turf. Ito, unahin natin, parang nauuso tong trend na to, yung mga first name na galing sa last name mo, di ba? Dip yan ako. Tapos meron tayo dito, Buds Budin eh. Parang kasali na siya sa listahan natin kasi dumagdag na yan. Meron ng mga Santi Santillan sa basketball. But we want to welcome officially Buds Budin to the club of this first name, last name.
I didn't realize na club pala to eh. But anyway,
exclusive club eh.
So, Alexis, unang-una, hello. And of course, you were there to cover both games today. Of course, you got to see Buds Budin kanina sa first game. What could you tell us about si Buds? Alright, so it looks like Alexis is a bit out. Alright,
Hello,
Alexis. Oh yeah, you're there. Kala ko nawala ka. My goodness. I was about to vamp.
I perfectly have the story for Buds Budin. Can you hear me guys perfectly?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Actually, I just have a fun fact to tell you. He actually was a table tennis player. And he was into billiards all his life.
Oh.
And then suddenly, nawala ng funds ang billiards and tennis sa Puerto Princesa, Palawan. And guys, guess what? The only spot left in their school was a bench position in volleyball. At kaya naman, naging bench position siya sa volleyball back in high school. And he told me na, alam mo, pagdating ko ng Manila, hindi ako papayag na bench na ako. And look where he is right now, contributing so many points to a collegiate team that has finally gotten a golden ticket to the final.
Grabe, ibang klase talaga yung ginawa ni Buds, and what a story there. But then, of course, syempre, being one of the younger members of this NU squad, he has to be able to, cope with lahat ng social media pressure and all of that. Has he said anything about being able to really cope with the pressures around him, considering na isa siya sa mga bata ng NU?
And you know what? Sobrang talagang nakaka-pressure daw when it comes to social media, especially when you're in a collegiate team. With UAAP coming around next year, and also dahil nga bata pa lang sila and they're sinasalang sila sa isang pro league, malaki daw talaga yung pressure when it comes to the fans, the comments of the volleyball spectators. But then, that's when they realize na, okay, this is the time of maturity and it comes to being an athlete. There are things to be responsible for, things to be held accountable for, and number one, that is mental health. Kasi syempre meron silang physical conditioning, but then when it comes to their mental health, they really have to take care of it and not read comments right before the game. I know you guys can understand that. Kailangan nila talagang mag-focus sa kung ano yung dapat nilang focus.
Looks like Buds Budin is embracing the pressure really well, Alexis. Isa na namang player from the NU Santa Elena Nationals. How about Obed Mukaba entering here in the volleyball scene sa Philippines? What can you say about him?
I actually asked him if he already FaceTimed his parents in Congo. He's so excited to tell them that it's his first year with NU, his first league in the Philippines, now his first ever finals. And being one of the top blockers, he shared to me that he has 3 priorities. It's very straightforward and it seems kind of funny, but he delivers well. And kumbaga sabi niya, to get many kill blocks as possible. Secondly, to spike when the setter passes it to him. And thirdly, to ace his serve. And it might seem obvious and simple, but his action is exemplary. He told me last Tuesday na when they were down by 2 sets by signal, sabi ni Coach Dante, Obed, come here, do your kill block. And then there he is. He's so happy with his team, gagawin niya lahat. And he told me na, alam mo, you know what, NU, it's my first time meeting them, but they are so young and excellent.
Grabe talaga yung ginawa ni Obed Mukaba. I had the pleasure of calling that game kanina, and what he did was is something special, and everyone should watch him. Moving on now, though, sa Signal, on the Signal side of things, now in the final, Signal had a bit of worry with Monica Espejo at one point getting injured in their last loss. But then the Achilles injury, what could you tell us a bit about how Signal bounced back from that type of adversity?
They literally bounced back. Just 5 minutes ago, Dip and Pau, Signal HD had a victorious sweep over PGJC Navy. Mark Espejo was the player of the game with 16 points, despite a painful Achilles heel in which he will get treated after the finals. It's 4 days left until the finals right now over the weekend. He just got it strengthened through therapy and then he said he will deal with it afterwards because yung adrenaline nandun, kayang-kaya nila until the finals.
Right, lipat tayo ngayon sa VNS, team that is, of course, playing for the bronze medal in the Spikers Turf Open Conference. What can you say about Ben San Andres or Barbie San Andres for this team?
You know what? Barbie San Andres has been trending on social media and he is so grateful and honored. Sabi niya, I'm so grateful and honored to be awarded with the appreciation of, being a young gun to look out for, especially with the other veteran teams, really looking on how to stop him. And Barbie actually shared to me a fun fact of DNS that we learned just this week that Anissa Griffin's team live together in one townhouse and they train together in a bubble. Kaya naman talagang hindi mo ma-express yung connection nila. But with regard to their connection, given these past set of games, yun talagang kailangan nilang ipag-work on given the absence of Kim Malabunga, one of their main blockers due to prior commitments.
Now we move on to the last team that figured in the semis and will now be battling for the battle for third. Itong PCJC Navy, the only team with a with a female head coach, and that is obviously very special para sa liga natin, Alexis.
And sobrang talagang special noon. And I quote si Coach Cecil Cruzada, di ko sinangad sumikat, pero masaya siya na naging isa siyang living example and inspiration sa mga babaeng nangangarap din mag-lead ng isang buong team. It's not just about being a female player. Now, there goes the sentence, I can also be a female coach. And the respect and obedience the Navy has for me, siguro nag-root ito from being a Navy myself. And the best role model we can have is someone who's already experienced. Kasi, kumbaga, na-experience na niya kung ano yung na-experience ko pa lang. And that's why yung disiplina at pag-aalaga ang binigay niya sa Navy. And kaya taos-pusang silang nag-o-obey kay Coach Cecil. And when I asked the Navy, you would see and you would think, oh, these guys are so tough. But no, they are so scared of Coach Cecil. It's so funny and it's so sweet at the same time.
That's funny that you'd say that. Pero Alexis, before we let you go, we still have a bit more time here. I want to ask about you personally. Kamusta naman yung experience covering all this men's volleyball action? If I'm not mistaken, it's one of the few times we actually do get to do it, and one of your first times covering them as well. Kamusta naman yung experience na yun?
I've been covering women's volleyball for 6 straight seasons. And the moment that I get to step foot here and I see these male athletes getting shown into the light, it's a different kind of heartwarming experience. It shows that sports has equality. It has the same amount of talented individuals, whatever gender it is. And sobrang talagang nakaka-touch kasi when I started interviewing all of these players, all of them were just excited to play because they waited for 2 years. And now they're here and they're gonna show their best and the audience is just really ecstatic about what they can show hanggang umabot sa final.
Alexis, maraming salamat. Really appreciate the work that you do and telling those stories for us and of course the rest of our audience. Hopefully we get to see you in the finals as well. Maraming salamat, Alexis.
Thank you very much, guys.
And you can catch the action in the Spikers Turf Finals this Thursday and Saturday on One Sports and One Sports Plus. After the break, we'll meet the amazing talents repping Yamaha Racing Philippines on the international stage. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Welcome back to the game. When it comes to the growth of motorsports in the Philippines, Yamaha Motor Philippines has been at the forefront of bringing talent to the world stage. Let's check in with our country's top riders as they get set to represent the Philippines on the track.
Motorsports is a broad field that encompasses all aspects of motorcycling. Right now, Yamaha Motor Philippines racers are currently competing sa Asia Road Racing Championship. We have April, Gian, and JE. While sa European Championship naman, FIM Junior GP, McKinley Kyle Pass is racing against different countries as well. As motorcycle manufacturer, it's our goal to put the safety as our top priority every step of the way. As much as possible, we put high value in innovation to keep everything up to date sa motorcycle na pinapagamit namin sa mga riders, from the engine up until the body design of our motorcycle.
Having the honor to be the head coach of the Yamaha Racing Team Philippines, one of our advocacy here is we try to encourage riders to follow the footsteps of our current racers, to get in the proper way of racing, to start it safely, to start racing on the track, keep the racing off the road. We have this saying that, share the road and own the track.
Ako nga po pala si King Mascardo. Bale po, represent po ako ng Yamaha Philippines sa ibang bansa po, like ARRC po, Asia Road Racing Championship po. Almost mga 8 years old po ako nun. Dati po may pocket bike pa, tinetesting ko noon, tinuturuan ako ng mga kaibigan ko. Doon po nag-start yung nahabit na yung nahilig na yung motor. Paunti-unti na po, mga 3 years po ganun. Nag-start na po akong kinuha po kami ng isang team po sa amin, and yung paunti-unti na po kaming gumukumpit po sa ibang lugar po sa Mindanao. Yung sarili po namin, lagi naming iniingatan, and may mga naman po si Yamaha na mga training and practice na namin. Kaya bago kami sumabak, syempre nasa mga tamang condition kami tsaka sa tamang practice po. Hands-on po si Yamaha pagdating sa mga training namin, competition tsaka sa mga event. Para po sa akin is andun na po yung may pakita namin yung isang Pilipino na kaya nating itapat yung hindi lang Yamaha kundi yung bansa natin. Kaya kumbaga kami po yung gusto namin mapakita sa mga kung mga tao na kaya din natin na yung skills na kung ano ginagawa ng ibang lugar. Napapayo ko po sa siyempre nangangarap ng mga rider na makamit kung nasaan po kami ngayon. Huwag po kayong maghinang ng loob, and follow your dreams lang po lagi. Tsaka lagi po natin tatandaan sa bawat ng pangarap natin is andun po yung Panginoon. Lagi po tayo magdasal. And andito naman po si Yamaha, yung program ni Yamaha, naman po eh. Kaya, yun po.
Ako po si McKinley Kyle Pass at sinalihan ko po na competition ngayon ay FIM Junior GP World Championship. Nahilig po ako sa motor nung 3 years old po ako. And then hanggang sa lagi po ako nanonood ng karera, hanggang sa palagi na po ako nagpa-practice. Pagdating po ng 6 years old, yun po, nagsimula na po ako mag-race, and then sa tuloy-tuloy na po. Yung unang race ko po, pang-anim po ako. Tapos nung sumunod po, ayun po, pumapasok na po ako sa top 5, kaya kumbaga natutuwa naman yung parents ko. Tapos ayun, nagtuloy-tuloy na po yung hanggang sa nasa podium na po ako. Dalawa ang pinaka-memorable sa akin eh. Yung unang-una yung noong 2019, nung nakuha ko yung overall champion sa Asia Road Racing Championship sa UB 150 category. And then yung pangalawa is yung mapunta ako sa FIM Junior GP World Championship. Tinutulungan po ako ng Yamaha na i-condition po yung sarili ko. Like, sila po yung nagpe-prepare ng yung sa mga gym namin, yung sa mga training namin, practice. Ayun. Kung di naman po dahil sa Yamaha, di naman po ako mapupunta sa kung nasan man po ako ngayon. At syempre, yung mga pamilya ko po, kaibigan, ayun po, syempre yung suporta po nila, grabe talaga para lang sa maaabot din po namin yung dream namin na mapunta kami sa MotoGP.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Dip Dipianco.
And I'm Paulo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.